What if one of Asia's biggest stars proved that true love is not just about red carpets and flashing cameras, but about the quiet, tender moments at home? Today on New Star CN, we reveal how Yang, the screen idol admired worldwide, prepared a heartfelt surprise for his beloved Dilraba as they step into the most precious chapter of their lives, becoming parents. Stay with us, because this story will warm your heart and remind you what real love looks like. When the joyful news of Dilraba's pregnancy first reached the public, it was more than just a headline. It was a moment that united millions of hearts across the world. For years, fans had admired Yang and Dilraba not only as exceptional actors but also as individuals who carried themselves with grace and quiet strength in an industry often defined by noise and spectacle. Their confirmation of love already felt like a fairy tale to many, but the revelation of a new life soon to arrive transformed that narrative into something even more profound. A story of family, legacy, and the timeless cycle of love being reborn in its purest form. The announcement itself did not rely on extravagance or showmanship. Instead, it was marked by a simplicity that spoke volumes. Dilraba, radiant and serene, carried within her the promise of a future, and Yang, known to the world as a symbol of charisma and talent, suddenly revealed a deeper side, one that prioritized care, devotion, and the unspoken vow of protection. The fans felt it instantly. This was not just another celebrity headline. It was a reminder that behind every star is a human being capable of the same joys and fears as anyone else. Across different countries, the news stirred not only excitement but also inspiration. In Korea and Japan, where both stars are beloved for their acting, the story was embraced as a moment of sincerity in an industry often clouded by rumors. In the United States, France, and Canada, international fans spoke of the universality of the message, that happiness found in family transcends culture and geography. From Thailand to Singapore, from the Philippines to Europe, admirers saw in their journey the truth that love, when nurtured with patience and honesty, can grow into something far greater than personal success. The joy of this announcement lies not simply in the fact of a pregnancy, but in what it reveals about the couple themselves. It marks a turning point, where careers and fame momentarily step aside, allowing love and family to take center stage. For Dilraba, this is a season of transformation, a time when her smile carries a glow that no camera can truly capture. For Yang, it is a chance to embody a new role, not written in scripts or performed before an audience, but lived every day with devotion. The world celebrated because this news was not just theirs. It belonged to everyone who still believes in the quiet power of love and the enduring beauty of family. There are gifts that can be touched and measured, and then there are gifts that carry within them an invisible weight of love, thought, and devotion. What Yang prepared for Dilraba during her pregnancy belongs firmly to the second kind. It was not simply a gesture, but an act that embodied his transformation from admired actor to devoted partner and father-to-be. While the world often sees grand celebrations or lavish displays when celebrities mark milestones, Yang's offering was different. It was quiet, intentional, and deeply personal, designed not for cameras or headlines, but for the comfort of the woman he loves and the child they are about to welcome. The nursery he created was not just a room, it was a sanctuary. Each detail spoke of care. The colors were chosen with serenity in mind, soft shades that would soothe both mother and baby. The furniture was not selected for luxury, but for safety and comfort, as if he were placing a shield around his family. Even the wallpaper, with its gentle stars and clouds, was a message of hope and dreams, an atmosphere where a child could grow surrounded by peace. What moved those closest to him was not the material beauty of the room, but the time and energy he devoted to ensuring every corner reflected warmth and protection. Beyond the physical space, Yang gave something even more precious, himself. He recorded stories and lullabies, so that his child would come to know his voice before ever opening its eyes to the world. He researched scent safe for a pregnant mother, determined that even the air Dilraba breathed would carry comfort. He worked with an artist to paint a portrait of their small family, not as celebrities, but as two people standing together, bound by love and anticipation. This portrait, destined to hang above the baby's crib, was less about decoration than it was about symbolism, a promise that no matter what fame or time might change, the bond of family would remain constant. It is easy to buy something expensive, but it is rare to give something that speaks directly to the heart. Yang's gift to Dilraba was not about grandeur but about depth. It was a declaration that their journey into parenthood would not be marked by extravagance but by tenderness, patience, and sincerity. It was, in every sense, a gift beyond words, an act that told a story of love without needing to be spoken aloud. In a world where wealth and fame often dictate the narrative, It would have been easy for Yang to rely on luxury as the language of his love. He could have filled the nursery with designer furniture, adorned the walls with expensive art, and surrounded Dilraba with extravagant comforts that only few could afford. Yet what he chose instead revealed something far greater, a love that speaks not in the currency of status, but in the quiet authenticity of the heart. His gift was never meant to dazzle the public eye. It was designed to touch the soul of the woman he adores and the child they are waiting to welcome. Every choice he made carried intention. The portrait he commissioned was not about prestige, but about meaning. Rather than selecting a celebrated artwork to impress, he sought a painting that would embody their story, showing a father holding his expectant partner against a backdrop of hope. It was not a work for the galleries, but for the walls of their home, a constant reminder that family is the truest masterpiece. The furniture in the nursery was carefully researched for safety and comfort, not for price tags or brand names. Even the colors chosen for the walls reflected his thoughtfulness, gentle tones meant to calm, soothe, and inspire dreams. Through these details, he demonstrated that love is measured not by how much one spends, but by how much one cares. Yang's devotion went further still. He explored the subtle world of scent, discovering fragrances that could bring Dilraba peace without harm. He immersed himself in the simple but profound task of creating an environment where his wife and child could breathe easily, rest fully, and feel secure. These were not gestures designed for publicity, but acts of private dedication, proof that love's richest expression often hides in the smallest details. This is what separates his actions from luxury. Luxury dazzles the eye for a moment, but it rarely endures. Soulful gestures, however, linger in memory, shaping the way a person feels cherished and protected. For Dilraba, the value of Yang's efforts will not be found in the cost of the items he chose, but in the sincerity of the love behind them. And for their child, these early choices will form the first chapter of a life written in warmth and security. More than just luxury, it was a touch of soul, a gift that money could never buy, but that love alone could create. Fatherhood is not a role learned overnight, nor is it a title earned simply by the arrival of a child. It is a journey of growth, a gradual unfolding of responsibility, humility, and love. For Yang, the transformation from actor and public figure to husband and soon-to-be father has been a revelation, one that he has embraced with quiet determination and deep sincerity. In a life once defined by scripts, cameras, and schedules, he has begun to step into a role that requires no audience, only devotion. What makes this transformation remarkable is the intentional way he has prepared himself. He has not relied on instinct alone but sought wisdom, turning to books on parenting, joining online classes about fetal development, and listening attentively to doctors who guide him through each stage of the pregnancy. These actions may seem simple, but they reveal a man who is willing to learn, to adapt, and to dedicate himself to a responsibility far greater than fame. Yet perhaps the most touching aspect of Yang's growth is not found in study, but in his presence. Between filming schedules, he carves out time to call Dilraba, checking if she has eaten well, reminding her to rest, and offering comfort with just his voice. He chooses to step back from physically demanding work, placing the health of his family above all else. In these moments, he shows that fatherhood begins long before the first cry of a newborn. Yang's journey into fatherhood is not about perfection, but about love expressed through learning and action. He is proving that to be a father is not simply to provide, but to grow day by day, into the man his child will look up to with pride. Dilraba's parents have stepped in to provide warmth and guidance, while Yang's family has promised constant support. Their home is now not just a house, but a circle of love. Meanwhile, fans worldwide have poured out blessings. From digital art in France to fan-led prayer circles in Korea, from handmade gifts in Southeast Asia to heartfelt letters in Canada, the love for this couple has crossed every border.
Plusieurs notes musicales à Song of Love.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any more emotional, Yang secretly composed a song titled One Love, Two Lives, inspired by their journey. Unlike the usual chart-topping hits, this melody is private, deeply personal, and dedicated only to Dilraba and their child. A reminder that sometimes, the greatest performances happen not on stage, but in the quiet of a family's heart. What can we learn from this story? That love is not measured by grand speeches or expensive gifts. It's found in the quiet actions, choosing safe colors for a nursery, singing a lullaby no one else will hear, writing a journal for a child not yet born. Yang's devotion shows us that even the brightest stars shine the most when they are lighting the way for their loved ones. If this story touched your heart, remember, there are many more stories of love, family, and inspiration waiting here on News Star CN. Sparkling Heart, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, and share this video with someone who believes in true love. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned, because love, just like the stars, always finds a way to shine.